The ways of man are mysterious and plentiful.
A three-way junction.
Well, I'm just going to let Rick explain it.
God damn it. Yeah, all right.
That's not how math works.
Probably not the best option for him.
That doesn't make any sense.
This is really bizarre.
Yes.
Yep.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us Under the Library. We are an actual play tabletop RPG podcast using our own version of Call of Cthulhu. It's rules light, editing light, because we make this story together in the moment. If you'd like to support us, you can do that by wearing some of our merch, which you can find at underthelibrary.com/store. Or you can head over to underthelibrary.com/support. My name's Arthur. I am playing Buddy. Once again, we are without Scott tonight, so I am here with Wayne as Lancelot, Rick as Sam, and Emily as Colette. As always, our keeper is Michael, and Michael, the show is all yours.
Thanks, Art. Under the Library is a horror tabletop role-playing game set in the Call of Cthulhu universe with horror and other unsettling imagery. Not safe for Scott is your signal. The following information will be graphic. If you're concerned, skip ahead, but stay with us because we feature mature themes played by immature people. And if you're worried about Rick clip-splaining a mansplain to mansplain your clip-splain, and you're just worried in general about what's coming out of his mouth, we are too. You're in the right place. And with that, Emily with last episode's recap.
I'm muted. Okay. Colette tracked down Amanda to see.
Do you want to turn that mute button off? That's the...
Oh God, everybody, cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. It's happening.
He actually did it.
Can I do this through the computer? Can I just
you
like
reach through and choke him?
Yeah, no punch.
Okay.
I have a good left hook.
He knows.
Punch him in the
We have
throat.
an Under the Library fundraiser that we're selling tickets for the next time that Rick and Emily are in person.
Oh yeah. I'd buy a ticket to that.
Oh, Rick.
May I give a recap? Is that okay with you, Rick? I mean,
I'll allow it.
well, with your permission. Colette tracks down Amanda to see what she has discovered about the town. Amanda's very suspicious, doesn't know what's going on or why there's no way to call out, and she plans to go on a camping outing tomorrow at noon to gather information. The two walk to the garden as they talk, and Colette finds the significant place that Lancelot mentioned. And with creative use of a lever, they actually manage to open it. In Sam's room, Buddy takes the book, talks to the book about Sam's horrifying sketches, and it explains that Sam has his own demons. Buddy wants to talk to Sam, and as he leaves, the book reminds him to bring water. In the clinic, Sam talks to Amos and shares his breakfast. Doc checks his back and finds it's infected, so he administers another shot. And finally, at Bawdy Bill's, Lancelot orders the special drink they give to residents who need to relax. The bartender asks him if you've seen Randy lately, and Lancelot wonders, out loud, if the bartender will ever see Randy again.
All right, and we'll go into the concrete tunnels with Amanda and Colette.
All right. We let ourselves down the 6-foot drop, which hopefully isn't too horrible if, you're hanging from your hands and only dropping a couple feet. I mean, that's not how math works. It's probably less than a couple of feet. Hey, Rick, could you explain
really
math
short
to me?
Yeah, so if it's 12 feet deep and you're like little under, 6 foot, go ahead.
So Amanda has a light. What do we see?
Well, I'm just going to let Rick explain it because.
Yeah, so what you see at the bottom of that concrete tunnel is you.
All right. when you land down, the concrete cap, everything you see around you is dirt and fairly moist, almost like a clay mixture. And I wouldn't presume that you're touching, but as you're looking around the walls, it seems it smells earthen and feels oddly somewhat damp considering the terrain above ground.
But the terrain here is lush. You made a point of saying that
fair.
the terrain
That's fair.
in
Yeah.
New
Okay,
Bloodstone.
so
Okay.
that's fair. You're right. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
So here it wouldn't be that odd. Yeah, because
Okay.
you're below the gardens. Fair enough.
So are we just in a earthen cylinder, or are there tunnels?
No.
Or
It's
is
a
it
tunnel.
a cavern?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I'd said yeah. No, they're tunnels. So and you're at let's see. You're at a three-way junction in the tunnel.
A three-way junction. That's for you, Art.
Yep. Thank you. Did you see me reach for it? I went right to mark that spot.
Yep.
And based on your orientation, it's running north and south through the gardens and then west back towards the town.
I think we should go west.
Okay.
Maybe this connects up with the other. Maybe it's a network of tunnels.
This is really bizarre.
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's just the wastewater, but not the.
I mean,
Do you
I
think
don't
it's
smell anything. I think these are tunnels. If I look at the floor, do I see any signs of passage? Use?
Make a spot hidden.
Prints or drag marks or rolling a 70 doesn't help me too much. Wait, let me actually check my sheet, because if it's close, I don't want to burn 10. So no.
Okay. And so y'all start walking towards west, towards the center of town, essentially underground. And there's kind of no signs of any footprints or anything under there.
Okay. Does anything change? Does anything in the appearance of the tunnel around us change? Are there any other cross tunnels?
As you get to where you'd think is possibly, you're guessing, but like the center of town, there's another chute off to the north and another one to the south.
Okay.
Or you can keep going west, which you're starting to realize is probably, I shouldn't assume all of this. Make an intelligence roll. There's pretty.
That's a success. Let me see what kind of success.
I mean, you're not smart, but you're pretty smart.
That's a hard success.
Okay. You're realizing that this tunnel goes back towards probably underneath the wood pile, right? That if you keep going
The western path,
that's where you would end up. Yeah.
Which way is the facility? The base?
You mean where the house is and where the big kind of hangar is that seems like they do a lot of processing, where the guards were, essentially, that Johnny tried to go through? Is this where you're talking about?
Or do you mean Old Bloodstone, the army base?
I mean Old Bloodstone, the army base.
Okay.
Old Bloodstone, the army base would be east.
Okay. Is it miles or thousands of feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you haven't, I mean, aside from you're in the middle of town essentially, and there's a tunnel east that would get you back under the gardens, but there were no tunnels that went east.
Okay. Oh, Okay, I understand.
And
I've
with
lost-
that, as you're
Yeah,
pondering
that's
that,
fine.
we'll cut over to
I need a map.
Wait, to who? To Buddy?
yeah,
Mhm.
to Buddy.
Oh boy. Okay. So Buddy is making his way out of the bar and sort of mumbling to himself about visitors versus locals, and heading to the doctor to try to find Sam.
Okay. And Sam, are you? He's in the doctor, so you would probably walk into there with him having breakfast with little Amos.
Right. Yeah. Did you guys leave yet?
We were just about to. So Doc had patched me up. He gave me a shot, and then I was about to walk out with little Amos. So you'd probably catch us right as we're coming to the door.
Okay.
Is my guess, which would work out well. Hey there, buddy.
Mr. Sam, sir, I need to talk to you in private. I need to talk to you about something. Hi, Amos. How are you, Amos?
Hey, Mr.
You
Buddy.
feeling good.
Mr. Buddy.
Yeah.
You see my mom?
No, I have not seen your mom.
Dad said she's gonna be back later today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. And he kind of looks at Sam
Yeah,
like,
I'm really excited to see her.
I bet you are.
Yep. So what you need to talk to me about, but you know what? Here, Amos, let's find our way. Is anything open right now? Like, how early in the morning is it?
Well, nothing ever really closes there. So if you wanted to go anywhere, it would essentially be open.
Yeah, fascinating. I've got two options. So, is Lloyd's or the sheriff's office nearby?
Yeah, Lloyd's is right, like kind of in the center of town, and then the sheriff's office is just a little bit further up from there. So you could go to either.
I think what would be the best approach here. I guess, buddy, do you want to walk with me here for a second? I'm going to take a little Amos here over to the sheriff's office, and you and I can talk.
Okay. Is Amos like close to Sam, or is there like some distance between the two of them?
Emotionally or physically?
Physically.
I was just about to ask the same thing. Sam, that's up to you. I kind of envisioned you and Amos almost holding hands, but I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I don't know if like Amos was like all excited and,
clearly...
kind of like,
we were walking out together, so we'd be probably pretty close.
But as we're walking toward Lloyd's...
I mean, I'd probably be going a bit slower.
Sam's got these really dark circles under his eyes.
Okay.
And he's not looking so hot. Right, the color's kind of drained out of his face.
I'd probably be moving a bit slower than Amos, so Amos would probably be jumping on ahead. So,
okay. Amos will go, ooh, I remember the sheriff, and he runs up ahead.
Okay. Yes, I would turn buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Buddy's going to take one of the drawings out and sort of like turn so that Amos won't see it and hold it up to Sam.
Whoa.
What is this? Where did you see this?
Where'd you get that, buddy? Were you
where did you
in my room?
And you,
Sam,
you don't hear what he says, buddy. You hear the book say, "You're showing a corpse."
He's not a corpse.
I'm not a corpse.
Which Buddy may or may not say out loud. He's responding. He may just say it out loud.
I'll leave.
Should I roll on it?
Sure.
Let me roll on it. Okay. Nope, that one he was quiet on. So that one he said in his head. Mr. Sam, sir, where did you see this? How did you see this?
No, those have been haunting my dreams, buddy, for quite a many number of years. You asked me about why I leave a cow out, and I just sort of and shake my head, and I say, "That's why, buddy. But
these are people like being experimented on. How would you see that?
No, I've had these visions, and I'd wake up in the middle. I'd be out driving on my pasture, checking things out in the middle of the night, and then I'd wake up hours later, buddy. Things have happened, things I can't explain, but all I know is I'm shook.
Have you been experimented on?
Well, you could say every Thursday night I'm experimented on, to be absolutely honest with you. But that's
I don't think that's the same thing. Does it look like this?
And I say, yeah, it's possible, buddy. I don't like to think about it. I like to think that using me as a canary in the coal mine, so to speak, warning me about what may happen, and having me as a servant of sorts.
But I've seen some
And
of
after
this.
he says canary, you don't hear what he says.
Okay.
The book starts chirping in your ear like a bird.
Cut that out. That's not helpful. And that I say out loud.
What? Well, you asked me.
That chirping. Stop that.
Who's buddy? And I listen. Are there birds around? Like right now?
No, there's no birds around.
No, and I go, buddy.
Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, I should roll on
In the desert.
There are absolutely no birds out.
I go, buddy, there's no birds around. I know it's early here in the morning, but there's no chirping, son. You feeling okay? Did you get enough sleep?
Sleep? No, I didn't sleep.
You seem like you.
But Sam, some of these things I've seen at the army base back home.
What do you mean you've seen? You've seen things that look like this?
Not the monsters, but the experimenting.
Huh.
How could you have seen it in your dreams and I've seen it in person?
Maybe the ways of man are mysterious and plentiful.
That doesn't make any sense.
And it sounded pretty good in my head. Yeah, I know, right? So,
why is this getting worse when we're
he's
here?
a little tired and delirious.
Yeah, basically. And I say, listen, I don't know why you're seeing the same things I'm seeing. They could be related, but I've seen horrid creatures afoot. It sounds like Potts.
That thing that attacked you.
Well, that's one hell of a creature, that's for sure. I don't know if that's the things that I've seen.
And how does that relate to these things here that aren't people?
Then are we getting close to the sheriff's office at this point?
Yeah.
And I say, I don't know. It's possible my mind's playing tricks on me in the middle of the night there, buddy. But I can tell you this has happened more than once. I've had visions. I've had twisted thoughts of not my own. These intrusive thoughts that seem to be almost implanted there, and they're hard to sometimes get a grasp of. And I kind of put my hand on your shoulder and I said, but you been having any of those thoughts? Anything there in your head?
In my head? No.
Do I believe
and
him, Keeper?
The book says to you,
I'm talking to the book. The book's not in my head. That's a thing that I'm talking. It's like my friend.
Yeah. But the book says to you, how do you know I'm not in your head?
Well, you're not. You're real. I'm talking to you. Holy Christmas. So no, this doesn't count because it's not a roll for the game. But
yeah.
Shit, you can't see it. That's double zeros that I just rolled. So
triple, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I did just say that out loud.
Well, of course I'm not in your head. Yeah, I'm right here, buddy. I'm talking to you. Who are you talking to, son?
Well, I'm talking to you, Mr. Wagoneer. I'm talking to you. Hey, is Lloyd's open?
You're not talking to anyone else?
Is Lloyd's open right now?
Lloyd's
and I'm looking
probably.
Over at Lloyd's. Mr. Wagoneer.
Yeah, Lloyd's is open. Yeah.
I gotta go to Lloyd's.
Is that the book saying that?
Do you think that you could make a distraction in about 10 minutes?
Because you gotta go to Lloyd's?
Why would you ask him that?
I'm gonna go to Lloyd's, and then I'm gonna go over there to that wood pile,
Oh, I see what you're trying to do.
and
Should I
I'm gonna be
meet?
making some
Okay,
noise, and I don't want anybody to hear.
should I meet you over there then?
Well,
After,
after, yeah. Well, after you can come follow me.
okay, I'm glad I'm gonna jump on this grenade for the group. Here we go.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna run to Lloyd's.
Okay, you're gonna run to Lloyd's.
Okay.
I'll pop into the sheriff's office.
Okay, and
I didn't find it yet, but I think it was Coddington.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's what I
Okay.
thought too. As y'all make that split, we'll cut over to Lancelot.
So Lancelot is making his way from Bawdy Bill's in his gardening attire, and then quickly
Mhm.
exits and heads down the center of the road, which he normally walks on the sidewalks, kind of out of the way. But for some reason, he's just walking right down the center of the road, not even looking side to side. Just his gait is very, very confident, which is not a normal Lancelot gait for the most part. He has a little more trepidatious walk. He's walking very, very forthright, right down the center of the street, heading towards the gardens.
Okay, and as you walk through the middle of the street, you catch the eye of Mr. Loman, and looking a little frazzled and hurriedly walking through the middle of town, which he doesn't normally do.
Is he walking?
Just with that demeanor. I mean, you normally see him, but not in that kind of demeanor.
Is he on his own?
Yes, he's alone.
And he's walking the same direction or an opposite direction?
He's headed to Bawdy Bill's.
Oh, yes. So at that, Lancelot will stop exactly where he's standing. And if he saw him, caught him, I'm assuming out of the corner of his eye, Lancelot pivots just on one foot. A very balanced pivot with his hand out to his one of his hand out to his right side, a lot like a cowboy would do if they're doing a draw. And for some reason, he's just standing in that fashion, and he looks over, and he's looking over at Mr. Loman, with just a curious look on his face, and his body and his posture is very, very different than a curious look on his face.
And Mr. Loman is focused and really kind of misses this posturing by Lancelot. Sam, you're welcome to roll a spot hidden to see if you see this back towards the center of town. But go ahead, Lancelot. What were you going to do? Because I don't think that would change anything.
And then if he sees him go into Bawdy Bill's, actually, I'm going to see if Lancelot would do that or not. Ooh. I'm going to go with Lancelot curiously starts walking back towards Bawdy Bill's in this curious posture of his, this gait, a very measured gait, not fast, looking side to side, but then he's just latched on to the entrance of Bawdy Bill's and then steps up onto the wooden sidewalk and towards the saloon doors that I assume Mr. Loman's gone through already.
Yep.
And then he sort of in a theatrical fashion, he pushes both of the doors, if they're saloon doors, one with each arm open, and then he steps in and lets them swing behind him. And he just looks, and he does the scan across the room from left to right, with his hands out to his side,
with that morning breaking light and dust from the road up behind him. Perfect, sure.
And takes a couple steps into the room, stops, and just makes a gaze back and forth, left to right, to see where Mr. Loman has proceeded to.
He's making quick conversation with the bartender, and as you walk in, he's slapping his hand on the bar, and he says, "Thank you very much. I appreciate that." And he's leaving the bar and starting to walk up the stairs.
And then Lancelot will take several more steps towards the bar and look at the bartender with a locked-on gaze, which normally Lancelot would never do that, and just locks on for a second.
and he's cleaning the glass, and he looks at you and he says, did you forget something, Lancelot?
And he said, no, I needed to come back in for the pass card. Randy's pass card. We need to collect that.
Make a persuade roll.
Yeah. He's got his charm, so he's going to use his charm if that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He says, oh, it's perfectly fine. The pass card needs to be brought in. It's not functioning correctly. Oh man, he's got a crazy good charm and rolls an 86.
How much luck you got?
Not that much.
And the bartender scratches his head, looks back at you and says, I don't have a pass card for Randy.
He said, you have the room that he works in. It's in the back here. I'll need to look through that. And Randy,
is this a push?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
He's going to push it. Yep. He's going to push it. He goes, I need to look through that. The pass card, it's needs to be accounted for. And he'll roll again with that is a hard success.
And the bartender looks back at you and says, oh, I see what you're asking for. I misunderstood. Yeah. Why don't you you just head back there down at the end of the bar and grab whatever you need.
What's the bartender's name?
This one can be Jonathan.
And one's rather out of character. He staring right in his eyes. Lancelot, once again, very out of character, goes, it's a good choice you made, Jonathan. And he slowly walks along the bar towards the quote office that Randy would have spent some time in.
Okay.
And he reaches for the doorknob if it's locked or not locked.
It is indeed locked.
Yep. And at that, he rubs his palms together, and his countenance changes somewhat. And he grabs the knob and just starts turning it as hard as he needs to.
Okay. All right. And
he's not even if it makes some noise, if the bartender heard it, he wouldn't be concerned with that.
Right. It makes a clicking sound, essentially a snapping sound, as the post inside just shears off, and make a luck roll.
Yep.
This is what we just have to see on this one.
Ooh, 17. So that makes it.
So, when the post snaps, it manages to pull it back with it, and the door swings open, and it makes really no more sound than a loud clicking noise.
And he turns his head and he looks back towards the bartender. And then when he notices that he's
Jonathan winks back at him.
Exactly, and that relays to Lancelot that this hasn't been noticed, and the only word that comes out of his mouth is the word in a very, very monotone fashion, a little bit different voice, fortunate.
Okay. And then as Lancelot closes the door, we'll cut over to Colette and Amanda.
So north would be towards the building that the guards wouldn't let Johnny into?
South.
Well, I'd like to.
You want to head towards that building, essentially, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because going towards the woodshed won't help. I know there's an entrance there.
Yeah.
I mean, I could prove that they're connected, but it already seems pretty clear that we're heading somewhere. So I'd like to go where Johnny couldn't go.
Okay. So you start heading south, you and Amanda, and after a good distance, right? Like I would say comparably probably double or triple the length of the other tunnels, you start to see the end of this tunnel, and this one's indeed pretty much a dead end. And make a listen roll.
28. I just need to see how good that is. It should be good enough. That's a regular success.
Okay. And you hear a woman's voice overhead, and she says, "Hey, can you pass me that wrench?" And somebody responds, "Sure, I got one right over here. We need to lock down this area. There's gonna be an inspection pretty soon."
And it's coming from
from above.
Straight above.
Right?
Yeah. And if I look up, does this seem to be covered with a heavy concrete lid like the other one was?
This one, you notice that the surface you're standing on is concrete, and it's the entire kind of tube going down into the earth and then going along the earth is concrete. And you can make an intelligence roll.
Okay. 22.
Okay. And you would guess that probably the way this one's formed is that some sort of liquid gets poured down, and it's to prevent the reason that the concrete's curved down is to prevent the earth from, misshaping as the liquid pours
Prevent
down.
Erosion.
Yeah. That's a much better, yeah.
But I just want to clarify, because the question I was asking was specifically about the cap. Does this look like there's a heavy concrete cap like on the other two?
Are you using your flashlight?
Amanda's flashlight, yes.
Oh, you are.
Of course. How else are we going to see anything? It's dark.
Well, it's light up above, right? Like sorry, that's on me. I didn't describe that properly. As you get down right towards the end, there's actually light coming through the shaft down.
Oh, so not a big concrete lid.
No. Like there's still a tube going down into the earth, but there's light coming through that tube that's shining down. Not like it's lit, but like ambient light filtering down into that space.
Okay. I guess my impression was that the lid was... Never mind. All right. Got it. So if I look up, no flashlight, what do I see?
You can see it's open. You don't see any kind of rebar, and then make a spot hidden.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. You see somebody pass a wrench over the top of this pipe and another hand grab it, and you can see the roof of a building. And the roof looks fairly high up. So I think at this point, right, you'd be able to surmise from where you are and the spot that you're underneath that large building that Johnny couldn't get access to.
Okay. Well, I
And
don't
on
know what to
that,
do.
yeah, that's okay. And on that, we'll cut back over to Sam and Buddy have split. Sam, did you see? Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
And so I'd put my head in there and I'd say, "Hey there, Sheriff."
Oh, how's it going? You keeping all the bad guys at bay?
I sort of cracked my neck. I said, "Oh, you by the look of it, I'm sure you could probably tell. I had myself certainly some run-ins there. Was wondering if
you fall off a horse?
Huh.
When you're sitting up on that saddle, you want to hold on to those reins good. Keep your feet in the stirrups.
Yeah, so I was wondering here, little Amos has become real just interested in the life and goings on here of Sheriff and of the Western townsfolk life. And I was wondering if
Busy now. And she puts her boots off the desk and plops them on the floor and leans forward and looks at you.
It's like I was wondering here, would you take it upon yourself to maybe show them around for a little bit? Just show them what the life is of a steward here of town.
And she leans over her desk, looks straight at you, Sam, and she says, "Now, did you pick me because I'm the sheriff or because I'm the only female NPC you've spent any time talking to?"
Like I said, I was looking at Lloyd or her, and I thought he'd be safest with her. And I thought Lloyd and the candy was probably not the best option for him.
The fact that Rick came out of character to be defensive about his choice doesn't serve him well.
Interesting.
And actually I'll step forward. And is Amos like distracted by something there, or is he like actively listening?
He's kind of looking around right at the cells, and
so I'd take a few steps closer and I'd lean in to just sort of earshot of her, and I'd say, to be honest with you, Sheriff, my wife is missing, and we can't find her, and I need some help, and I'm gonna go out and look for her, but I just can't break his heart.
And she looks at you and she goes, "Missing?"
Yeah, she's been gone since yesterday. Last I saw her, she was at Bawdy Bill's, and no one's seen or hide or hair of her. Thought maybe she went out on the camping expedition and rode out there last night, and she was nowhere to be seen.
Have you checked your hotel room?
Yeah, check. Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm pretty sure she stopped back in here not 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. So what now?
Yeah, she got back in right off the trails and said she was headed back to Bawdy Bill's to catch a little sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Did we just walk past her, keeper? We just
no, she's saying 10 minutes, like,
Okay.
Before you got out of the
yeah, but Buddy was there at the room, coming from Bawdy Bill's.
Yeah, it
right?
Could have been while I was having the conversation with the bartender.
It's certainly possible. It just sort of, for Sam, he would be putting the timeline together and say, this doesn't make sense. Because I'll head back, but if she's not there, I'll come on straight back. And I'm real worried about her, Sheriff. Real worried.
I'm sure you are, but I can tell you, I just saw her. She's fine. You want to take Amos with you to see his mom, or you want to leave him with this maternal figure?
I don't. Honestly, what's the difference? No, so I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead. It's so bad. Why do you guys let me be so bad? And I'll.
No.
Yeah, we never warn you.
No.
And I'll say, oh well, if she's back, I'd love to go see her and bring Amos. He just cherished an opportunity to lay eyes on his mama. And I say, thank you so much, Sheriff. And I'll sort of tip my hat and give her little cheers and head on out back to Bawdy Bill's.
We'll cut from Sam chewing on the tip of his boot to Buddy.
Okay. So Buddy is like booking it to Lloyd's.
Okay.
And when I bust open the door to Lloyd's, I say, Lloyd, are you here?
Hey. And Lloyd almost like you probably wouldn't notice in the state you're in, but he almost like just kind of pops to and starts sweeping.
So I'm picturing Buddy sort of like running toward Lloyd and like skidding to a stop in front of him. And he says, Lloyd, I need a hacksaw.
A hacksaw?
Yep. You got to have a hacksaw, right? Got to be a hacksaw here. If not,
you make a luck roll on that.
Okay.
I'll leave it up to you.
Do you want me to do the if not first?
Sure.
If not, Dynamite will do.
And he just nods his head.
Luck roll. I just missed it. God damn it. All right, the two I missed it by 3 points. The two that I burned a few minutes ago wouldn't have made the difference.
Okay. He says, tell me what you need it for, and maybe I can come up with something else that might work. Because one thing we definitely there's a dynamite range out by the munitions pile, but where you can practice your dynamite skills, but I can't just hand over dynamite to you.
Hold on, there's a dynamite range. Okay.
like basically over at the shooting range, he's saying you can go over there and you can blow up stuff if you want.
Okay. Okay. I have plan B now. Well, see, I gotta cut some metal because we're gonna go camping, and I want to make I make my own kind of grill, and regular grill won't work. I need to cut my own metal to make this special grill. It's the best way to make a steak ever. But I need to cut it myself. I'm really hungry.
All right. He thinks to himself for a second, and he goes, "Huh. I mean, I've got some old files in the back. Would that work for you?"
Boy, that's gonna take a while. But I guess if that's all you got, you don't have just a regular hacksaw. Wait,
and
he, Buddy's making the hacksaw motion.
Push that roll. Push that roll.
Is that what's happening? Am I pushing a roll?
Yeah, that's up to you.
Okay.
That's up to you. You want to push it?
What the fuck? It's a success.
Okay, and he goes, well, let me dig around back here and
It's really close.
I guess I forgot about it, but yeah, mixed in with some of these old tools. Here you go, and he gives you a kind of rusty hacksaw.
Okay. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate it. You have a good day.
You be careful with that.
Yep, will do. And Buddy's booking for the wood pile.
Okay. And the book is singing to you the whole time. It's singing to you. It's going, fingers and toes, keep them on. Fingers and toes, Buddy cuts them off. Fingers and toes, takes the diseased parts away. Keep your fingers and your toes until they rot away. And it's singing that the whole time that you're running with this.
Okay, so then was it singing that like while I was talking to Lloyd too? Or like as he was handing it to me?
It started once you got the saw, yeah.
Okay, so after a measure or two, Buddy is going to pick up, sort of humming the tune too while he's running, running toward the wood pile.
Okay, I got a heavy Muppets like vision of that, just like the flopping head just bopping along.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll have Sam kind of crossing probably nearby as you're humming this and running with a hacksaw down the street, and we'll close the episode. We'll give Lancelot a little scene here to close out the episode.
Okay, Lancelot's in the office, and he if he needs to do a spot hidden, he's going to quickly surmise where Randy, because he has other things on his mind that he'd like to do, but he quickly tries to surmise where the pass card would be left, and hopefully it's not too disheveled of a mess.
Yeah. Did you roll?
I'm going to roll right now. Oh my God, a 13, and so that is, he's got a great spot hidden, so that is an extreme success.
Okay, and he just pulls open the top right drawer, and it's not hidden anywhere or anything. It's a oddly kind of shapen metal card. It's not big. It's not like and it actually sits on the end of a necklace. But it's a small square with a little crystal in the middle. And
So
Lancelot immediately knows that's what it is.
and Lancelot takes that, has a very wry smile on his face, and in a very measured tone says, "Certain systems are very predictable," and puts it in his pocket, and then turns and exits the room, closing the door behind him, looking over at the bartender once again, and then walks through the bar to the stairs that Mr. Loman had gone up. And at that, he's still walking in the measured, confident gait that he had come in earlier up the stairs, and looks to side to see where Mr. Loman would have went up the stairs. And if you could surmise that, because he's looking for just to talk to Mr. Loman.
Okay. And make a luck roll.
Yep. Oh man, got it by a bunch, 20.
Okay. Now this one's the tough one. Is this lucky or unlucky?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He stands at the top of the stairs and he scans and he knows they're all guest rooms to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been in the room directly in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's where
Llewellyn's,
he returned Llewellyn's clothes. And he looks down the hall at the room where Sam saw Pete the Poet go in.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes down and stands in front of that door.
And so standing there, his posture turns completely into Lancelot's posture, and his head and everything, the confidence, and he's standing there, and he knocks on the door.
And we'll close the episode.
That is it for this episode of Under the Library. Until next time, you can find us at underthelibrary.com. Don't forget to check out our online store for some great springtime t-shirts. That's underthelibrary.com/store. So for me, for Michael, for Emily, for Rick, for Wayne, and for the absent Scott, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time under the library.
Fingers and toes, keep them on. Fingers and toes, but he cuts them off. Fingers and toes, takes the diseased parts away. Keep your fingers and your toes until they rot away.